When we first made this intro, it was a video announcing the confirmation of the Park It Forward plan in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. We initially reserved judgment of this plan while we gathered information as it became available. Now the words, "no longer free," take on a new meaning as it pertains to the park. As many of you have commented and warned, these mountains, our land, our ability to freely use this land, and our ability to freely speak as guaranteed through the Constitution are under attack. On March 1st, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park will begin Park It Forward, but in the interval, the National Park Service was at work and succeeded in restricting free speech in the parks. In the wake of that decision, and right before Park It Forward goes into effect, it has also laid the groundwork to have you, the owners of this land, surveilled while visiting.
The overriding message from the public was clear. We value the park and we're willing to invest in protecting it for future generations. Still, some felt hurt by this plan. For some, this speed program conflicts with personal beliefs, as well as beliefs that have been handed down from past generations who sold their lands to create the park.
Not only had the first Europeans who settled this land sacrificed for the creation of this park, but the Cherokee, who inhabited this land for thousands of years prior, were forcibly removed by the same government that is now slowly grinding away at our access, civil liberties, privacy, and freedoms on this land. Let us not be confused. This isn't just about YouTube and TikTok. It goes well beyond that. This is about preserving our liberties. This is about an overreaching government controlling how and when we the people can exercise our right to freedom of speech and expression. This is about our ability as Americans to be unabridged in expressing ourselves, to inform the public at large, and to hold our officials accountable. But to go further, it is about our freedoms as Americans to not be tracked and monitored in our daily lives by our government, which is precisely what will happen on your next Smokey's vacation once these cameras are turned on.
In a timely manner. When you park in designated parking areas, make sure all four wheels of your vehicle are within the pull-out or lot.
It will be abused eventually, if not in the beginning. Always good intentions by government, but there again, show me somebody who trusts their government.
While park officials shouted from every media mountaintop about their Park It Forward program, through YouTube videos, news interviews, even put together a media kit, virtual town halls, they appealed years of legal precedent to restrict free speech on federal land without even a whisper about it to the general public, and then under a more esoteric manner installed license plate readers under a veil of silence.
Here in Tennessee, more than 1,000 cameras are capturing your car trips. Well, this evening, WBIR has learned they've also been quietly installed in the most visited national park in the country.
Welcome to the Great Smoky Mountains, from Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and Townsend. Did you see the license plate readers? If you're heading to the national park, you likely passed them on the way there. And now, once you drive past the welcome signs, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park says you are looking at a pilot program.
Incredibly concerned to the point of being ticked off. I think it has a lot of implications. Civil liberties for one, privacy another.
Congressman Tim Burchett doesn't like the idea of being tracked in the most visited national park. In 2021, 14.1 million people visited the Smoky Mountains.
I have heard at some of our so-called top secret facilities where national secrets are kept and things like that, not in a park. That just, to me, that's beyond belief.
We asked the Park Service about their plans for license plate readers. They say it's not functional yet. They're testing to see if the park has the connectivity and power to support the equipment needs. We located one set at the Townsend entrance and another pair near the Sugarlands Visitor Center. Together, data shows roughly 6 million people a year drive through those entrances.
It will be abused eventually, if not in the beginning. Always good intentions by government, but there again, show me somebody who trusts their government.
The National Park Service says it hasn't purchased the Motorola equipment yet or made any kind of agreements. If it does work out, they'd see if the data helps with problems like overdue hikers or requests from other agencies.
But we believe it is fair to say that the timing of these installations may tell a different story. With new rules and laws in place that concern themselves with who is in the park, how long they're in the park, and what they're doing while they're there, it could be easily deducted that these cameras or readers may be used for enforcement. Further, I do not believe it would be unreasonable to speculate that the 2 locations where the cameras currently are situated will be the last spots you will see them. Automated kiosks have already been installed at multiple visitor centers and park entrances. For instance, here is the kiosk at Sugarlands Visitor Center. It is certainly possible we will see these readers at these locations. Laurel Falls Trailhead, Chimney Tops, Alum Cave Bluffs, Cades Cove, and others could be potential sites for visitor tracking as well. Not only to make sure you are not parked longer than 15 minutes without a pass, but they could also be used as evidence to prosecute you for actions taken during your Smokies trip. Imagine this. You are vacationing in the Smokies, a park that you own and support through your tax dollars, donations, memberships, parking passes, and volunteerism. You're driving through the park and you stop at an overlook to snap a few pictures of Mount LeConte. You have no intent to post these pictures to YouTube, and then the unbelievable occurs. A family of bears appear in the forest. This is your family's first time seeing a bear. It's a bucket list memory. So you switch your cell phone from photo to video and start recording the cubs playing in a fashion that could go viral, or at the very least, would want to be seen by your family and friends. You didn't get a pass that day. You had no intention of stopping for that long. Your kids' eyes are full of wonder, taking in the first sight of a black bear in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. A memory they will never forget. 15 minutes, 16 minutes, 17 minutes, 18 minutes pass by. And if the watchful eye of the readers are there, you're already caught. And this is just one element to it all. What started out as snapping some pictures for the family photo book has now turned into a video. A video that you want to and have the right to share on any social media that you choose because you're an American. We must remember that the First Amendment makes no distinction between speech that you get paid for and speech that you don't get paid for. You have a right to both. You then posted to TikTok and YouTube. After all, this is an epic moment. Then a couple weeks later, you get a knock on the door from a government official, much like what happened to Gordy Price, charging you with failure to obtain a permit, a crime punishable for up to 6 months in prison. Sounds outlandish, unbelievable even, but every bit of this is within the confines of this law. Yes, you heard that correctly. You can get 6 months in jail for taking a video in the national park that you made 30 cents from. And you may even make the claim, how would they even know that the footage of the bear is from inside the park? Well, they've been tracking you with their license plate readers. The readers bought and paid for by you through your tax dollars and parking passes. While the example we just gave is very situational, that's just a small part of the whole. Our government does not have the right to track us at any point without probable cause or warrant. This is especially true in our wild spaces. The government has no right to know when and where you travel or what it is that you do, particularly when you're on vacation and enjoying yourself in one of the most beautiful places on the planet. While we've been very much up in the air, or at the very least on one side or the other of this argument since the announcement of Park It Forward, things have become very clear of late. We are headed down a very dangerous path. The biggest irony here is that the information contained in this video is exactly the type of information the First Amendment is intended to protect. And that protection is what the National Park Service works so diligently to undo with the overturning of this law. And please know that we did not rely on some YouTube video that we saw that had a lawyer in it to make our decisions here. We have been in contact with the National Press Photographers Association and gained membership with their organization. They have filed the amicus brief on the behalf of Gordy Price. We have also been in contact with Robert Corn Revere, the First Amendment attorney of Gordy Price, and the lead attorney in the case against the Department of the Interior and the National Park Service. No mystery attorneys or information we got from some YouTuber over here. You see, we're going about this the right way as well, although it may look very different than other people's right way. A huge thanks to the NPPA and Robert Corn Revere for the work they do to protect our freedoms and liberties. While we're sure the message in this content will be applauded by some and condemned by others, we felt a responsibility to speak on this matter. We would rather follow our conscience and stand up for what's right in our opinion than remain weak and timid and fall in line. Our national parks are not the king's private preserve. They are owned by all Americans for all Americans to enjoy. We the people allow the Park Service to administer the land. The Park Service does not grant us permission. This is a distinction worth considering. Thanks for watching.